Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to go over a story titled, I just found out that my wife is cheating on me with multiple people and telling them we are separated. And I shout to Ty for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy. He's 39 years old. Wife is 37. I forgot how long they've been married, but obviously long enough time to have 2 kids together. And she has a son from a previous marriage, which means, well, you know what that means. And long story short, she is awful, and he is getting rid of her. But you're going to see that not only is she awful because she's a big cheater and disrespect, but she is nuts. I mean, a danger, and I think you'll agree with me, to not just him, but also the whole family. And you're going to see it gets so bad in terms of her disrespect that she tries to actually, how can I put this, make him out to be, to the authorities, the bad guy, if you will. God, what should I say here? I kid you not. But he actually beats her to it and exposes her, and now he handles it right, and he's going through the divorce and the whole thing like that. And I've been going to go over here, guys, making the point that you really better do your homework before you marry somebody, because they can seem wonderful in the beginning, and then they take the mask off, and holy crap, look what you got. And if they are treating you in this way, you got to move on. If not for yourself, but for your kids, if they can be a danger. And oh yeah, by the way, I also might point out here, this guy didn't help himself. This guy let her get away with so much without checking her. He obviously is worn down and weak, and she has no respect for him. But fortunately, in the end, when push comes to shove, he's getting rid of her. But wait till you see how nuts she is. And oh yeah, this is going to be multiple parts in here. And then finally, in the end, him addressing some questions in the comment section. He says, I'm 39. I just found out that my wife is telling several people that we are separated and are in relationships with them at the same time. It's always that way. Oh, we're separated. We're separated while she's hooking up with multiple guys. Obviously, a divorce would be ideal, but we have small kids, and she will be ruthless in making sure she gets full custody. I am the sole income earner. I clean, do all the cooking and carting for our children. She contributes absolutely nothing and acts as though nothing our kids exempts her from being a parent or adult the rest of her life. Smack! He provides all the income and does all the cleaning and the cooking and caring for the kids and all that, and she does nothing. Yeah, one, she's an a-hole, but also, why wasn't he laying down the law? See, he's to blame for some of these things. She got a tattoo last night and sent a photo of it at 8 p.m. She wouldn't answer my calls or texts until she arrived home at midnight, and the tattoo is exactly the same. Arriving home at midnight, and she's got 3 kids, scum. To add to the weirdness, she got half done last night, and the other half was to be done today, but he is refusing to tattoo her anymore. I saw her text, and she was saying about how he used her, and she feels filthy. She also was gone most of the day, and when I texted her asking she was at the tattoo place, she said she was out with another guy. She came home drunk, crashed our new Mercedes into the back of another car, and somehow didn't get a DUI. Good God. She is just a train wreck. Does it sound like somebody that should be a parent? No. I was trying to figure out what was going on and looked at her phone while she was passed out. She changed the passcode, but she passed out and it was unlocked somehow. I read through the name that she was with, and while all the texts before today were deleted, the ones from today were very explicit. I looked in the next thread with another man, and she said, me and my husband are separated, to which he heart reacted to it, and she sort of begged him to see her today. All the texts from the tattoo guy were deleted before this morning, and while there wasn't really any explicit text in there anymore, what unfolded this morning that led to them stopping work on her tattoo was strange. So obviously she's doing the tattoo guy, but something went on, and he's like, nope, I'm not finishing the tattoo. Must have been a pretty big tattoo. That's trashy. She messaged him asking about the tattoo, and he gave a one-word answer, and she lost it. He said that she was just waking up, and she went on how vulnerable she was to him, and she feels used and dirty. Well, she is dirty. There were others as well. The strange pattern across all of them seems to be talking big game, meeting in real life, and then things don't work out, to which she claims she is being more vulnerable with them than she ever had. Some of them were from weeks ago, where she still texts them daily, and they didn't respond. So he's doing all providing the income in the household, taking care of the kids, grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, taking the kids everywhere. And this is what she's doing. Yeah, I think it's grounds to divorce her, but he's worried that she's going to try to take the kids from him and take them to the cleaners. But we ain't even gotten close to how nuts she is yet. I would also like to add that she's extremely aggressive and physically abusive to me, but not to kids. Well, that's unacceptable, and why are you putting up with this, dude? Smack! If I didn't smack him earlier, let's imagine I did. I don't see anything else that doesn't involve her harming me and not seeing the kids again. She always says, because I'm the mom, I will get the custody of the kids. You have to pay child support, spousal support, and will need to move out while still paying the rent in our house. So regularly she's taunting him, hey, divorce me, I'm getting everything, ha ha ha. And you cannot have the kids be with a woman like this. I'm not sure what the move is. What is the best way to document everything? The division of labor and childcare, cooking, etc. Seems like something where I can say I do it, and then she can say no way, and I do that. Well, the odds are that the family courts are going to side with her, even though she's awful. And he's going to pay a big alimony and child support and all that. You know how screwed up this is? You wonder why guys don't want to get married nowadays, and the birth rate's plummeting because guys aren't getting married? Now he says a few more things. He says, what I would be okay with, considering the only asset we own is a car. He said 50-50 custody of the kids, at least 50%. I'll need to start going into the office 3 days a week, so soon it will work out well. She gets the paid off car. I continue to drive the finance car and continue to make payments on it. The house. We currently rent a house. We would both have to get our own place and pay for the rent ourselves. Ideally, I would keep our current lease and keep making the rental payments. I continue to provide health care for the children through my job. It's what reasonable child support is how it's calculated. I make mid-six figures, and she says I will need to pay a lot because of this. Now here's what he's saying she claims it will be. She says she will get sole or most custody of the kids. She get the car, we just start financing, and I pay the payments on that. She gets at least half of my net pay for child support. We have 2 kids. She stays in our current leased home, and I continue to pay $3,500 a month for it plus utilities. She continues not to work. I've been putting this off because she gaslit me into thinking the latter is reality. Well, who knows, depending on the judge, but he can't stay in a situation like this. And I'm going to go on to part 2 now, where you're going to hear more in depth about what's going on. And it's a freaking mess, and how she tries to entrap him, but he beats her to it. And, well, you'll see. He says here, now he's doing a little recap and all that. I'll skip past that. But he did mention he's married 7 years, 2 kids under 10 years old, and a teenager from her previous relationship. The other day I found out my wife's cheating, blah, 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 blah. She came home and passed out with her phone unlocked. I saw the texts on her phone to many people, and at the same time, and saying similar things to all of them, telling them that I'm the bad guy, and we have been separated, and I know she's dating other people. Blah, 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 blah. Today she left the phone unlocked, and the text showing that she sent to yet another person nudes. I confronted her about it, and she said, no, I didn't, and I grabbed her phone. Well, obviously she's cheating, and she's talking to other dudes and going out with other dudes, but now he's seeing the nudes. And she's like, nope, you didn't see that. When I go back to the store, she was taking nudes in our bathroom after getting out of the shower. She said she was going out tonight, and I already knew who she was going with. She's right in his face about this. But she keeps threatening him. Hey, you divorce me, you're gonna get screwed. It's better to roll the dice and take the chance than to live with this. And the kids are seeing their mom behaving like this and going out and getting drunk and trashed. I'm still trying to process the next hour or two after this happened. She was very open about how she was going out tonight with him, and he will pick her up. We, me and the kids, sat around the living room watching as she put her makeup on, getting ready for him to pick her up, the whole time blaming me about how I didn't give her enough attention. She's not having an affair. She can't wait to get a divorce from me and take everything from me. She's saying this in front of their kids. And by the way, given her behavior, how does he know those are his kids? But putting that aside, what a piece of garbage. A few minutes before he got here, she asked for a hug for my stepson. He knows what is going on and does not want to hug her. Well, good for him. She starts crying and freaking out, saying, my mom never loved me, my dad never loved me, and you never loved me. and I stood up and asked her to leave. Well, good for you. You hear all the guilt? She's blaming him not giving her enough attention. Bullshit. She's blaming mom and dad. They didn't love me. Well, I wouldn't love the bitch either. She then flipped the coffee table and everything on inside it, kicked a huge hole in our drywall, and then pushed the desk, causing a glass lamp to fall and shatter everywhere. She then drunkenly stumbled to his car, where he opened the door for her, and they took off. Dude, it's over. Talk to a freaking lawyer. These kids, how screwed up these kids are going to be seeing all this? Kicking a hole in the wall, flipping everything, shattering like that, drunk, trash, coming home, crashing into things. And by the way, you're going to find a little bit later more about her. He says, update. I started recording all day for protection. There you go. Now you got proof of this. And today, after things got out of hand again, she called the police to get a restraining order against me for, wait for it, being abusive. And she wanted to get the kids. She's labeling him as that. She didn't know I had a video of the whole interaction, and I got a temporary restraining order against her. Awesome. Hallelujah. This is the point, guy. Every guy nowadays got to walk around with a body cam on, I swear to God. Thank you to everybody for the support and advice. Hopefully I can post a long update in the new post after a few weeks. I also contacted an attorney for the divorce. Thank God. Still overwhelmed with different emotions. Relieved and scared of what is next, but for now, I will try to get some rest. Well, now we're going to go on to the comment section where people say things and he responds. We get more and more details about what she's really like and all that. But my God, guys, what we can get out of this? Everybody can screw up and marry the wrong woman at least once. I encourage you not to do that and do your homework before you get married. But for God's sakes, if you see something like this, especially when your children are involved and what she's doing here, you got to get out of it. But I understand he's worried that, hey, what happens if she gets them and something happens to them? At least he's here to protect them. Fair enough, but still, this can't go on. And at least he's got the recording of all this stuff like that. And I like the fact that the oldest son, who's 16, you find this out, don't want anything to do with her. But what a tragic mess. But there's always going to be someone out there be like, oh, she has a story. Her parents didn't love her. Who the fuck cares? She's ruining the kid's lives and his life. No, but I also want to say here, we can learn from this. This guy enabled a lot of her behavior. She's an a-hole, but look, he's doing everything. And look, clearly he never checked her. Clearly he never laid down the law, established boundaries, and look what you got. But hopefully he learns. But now there'll be updates, guaranteed, and I will cover that. Now the comment section for more details. One guy says to him, you will need an attorney even with 50-50. You're looking at possible spousal support until she gets earning capacity, child support, a portion of your retirement, half of your investments, half of daycare, half of medical deductibles, half of activities. It adds up. Seek advice before you do anything. While reading this post, it seems like she's experiencing mania. Is she bipolar? If she has a mental illness, would you support getting her well and then reassessing when she is herself again? No freaking way, man. Even if she is bipolar or bi something or whatever, no, she's nuts. She's the devil. He says, I know she has a mental illness. And when she went to rehab, it was dual diagnosis for alcohol and also to assess her mental state. And she said that they told her she didn't have bipolar or any other mental illnesses. She's in rehab. She's an alcoholic. Probably a junkie too, unless I guess they're not the same. How do you know when a junkie's lying? Their lips are moving. They probably told her that and she just neglected to mention it. I believe she puts on an act, or since she was in nice weather with zero responsibilities. Kids, noise, etc., she wasn't getting triggered, or however it works. Even if that's the case, too much has happened, and I would support her going and getting help, but I would still want a divorce. Thank God. If he would say, oh, she got better, I'd take her back. No fucking way. Another guy says here, the phone left unlocked somehow. She didn't get a DUI somehow. Godzilla defeated Mothra somehow. And our guy says, nah. To be fair, I wrote the whole thing out on my phone while running on the treadmill with my heart pumping, trying not to completely crash out. I feel better now, but I wish it was fake. And it's not the first time she has driven drunk at all. And every time she does, I pray figuratively that she gets pulled over for some BS, and then they see she's intoxicated. It's blowing my mind how she's talking to the cops, and they don't pick up on it. Because she's a functioning alcoholic, that's why. Functioning alcoholics can be trashed, and they can really put on the show. But it is kind of impressive. She crashed the car. The cops came on the scene, which you're going to find out. And I have a hard time believing they didn't give her the test. But okay, whatever. He also says, I believe that she manipulated me into thinking she was a level-headed person. Okay. She was very normal when we first met and when we married. It wasn't until we got married that a switch was activated, and she's completely different now. Bait and switch with a single mom. Imagine that. I honestly think she suffers from some multiple personality disorder, but undiagnosed. She'll be extremely happy 1 second, and then someone will simply ask her a question, and then she's set off, and the complete opposite. Undiagnosed, huh? Yeah. She probably was diagnosed, but neglected to mention that. And last one, this guy says, in a lot of states, they are defaulting to 50-50 custody. If there's an extreme income disparity, you may have to pay child support. But spousal support is rare, and you won't have to pay for a place for her to live. It's time to lawyer up. You may even end up with primal custody because she doesn't sound like a stable parent. Keep communication in writing if possible, and start gathering evidence. And he says here, she doesn't work. She never has worked. I make good money, so it made sense for her to not have to get a job so she could take care of the kids, but she doesn't. So I make 100% of the income, and child support will probably be brutal. I don't mind paying some money for the kids, but not sure what the living situation looks like in terms of our current leased home. God almighty. So there you go, guys. It's a train wreck. That was painful, but at least the guy, thank God, is divorcing her. And I think it's funny that she tried to claim and get a restraining order really against him and blame him, and yet how crazy that is, but thank God he had the good sense to record her. And I love the guy restraining order against her. That will help, not to mention the recordings. I just hope like hell they're living in a state, or at least a location, where the judges don't have complete shit for brains, and the family courts can at least have an open mind. But she can't have those kids, and he can't stay together with someone like that. So guys, for God's sakes, do your homework. Do your research on who you're getting involved with. Really, big time. And he said she was seemingly normal. And the second they got married, boom. That happened so often. And clearly she was looking for a provider. And there were other comments in the comment section that he mentioned. He mentioned, I didn't write this down, that her son, who's 16, does not want to live with her. He wants to live with him. But he's also getting pretty traumatized by all her shit. I think at 16 years old, you can say who you want to live with, but this guy didn't adopt him. She didn't want him to. But anyway, guys, keep an eye out for any updates here, because I really want to hear, we need some justice. I want to hear about some justice, that he gets rid of her and things go his way and all that. But anyhow, guys, there you go. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story that you want me to cover, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.